This is the words of God where he says, all who have hope for deliverance, all of us have a need for hope. We were made to have hope. Part of God's creation in us is when it says in Genesis that he made us in his image. Part of that image is this desire to be one with him and that we would seek him. That is this hope, and that it is the Lord who will deliver us. So we have that built into us. Next is that God says he has plans for us. God has a plan for you. He has a plan for me. And part of that plan is to what? To give us hope. That is part of who God is. God is not holding back hope and saying, well, I'm not going to give you hope unless you jump through these hoops. No, God has a plan, purposeful plan to give you and I hope. And it's a hope and a future. Remember when I defined hope earlier? Hope is looking out towards the future, a certain future, and that we have that kind of hope in Jesus. And thirdly, just to sort of round it out, is that you and I, part of receiving hope is to be prepared to give the reason for the hope. God, I believe we all have some hope. I know you may feel beaten down. I know you may look at the hope tank. You have a gauge of hope, and you feel like your hope is empty, that the gauge is on empty, and you're running on fumes of hope. But God says, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. There will always be at least a little bit of hope there, to which God wants to build on. And part of that building process is that we share the reason, the hope we have. Now, if that hope is, well, look at all the great things I've done. Look what I've accomplished. Look at my bank account. Look at my resume. Look at the title. Look at all the things I've accomplished. That kind of hope will fail you. Trust me, I tried it and it fails. The hope that God wants us to share is the hope of who he is and what he has done, and his promise that we are his child forever. So, and that only comes in and through Jesus. It doesn't matter. I have a dear friend lives in another part of the country, and his thinking is that, you know what, if I do enough good things, God will give me hope. That's not going to work. It's got to be the hope that he gives, and that we then respond by sharing that. And there are two steps in this process of rebuilding hope. And the first step is the hope you would think it is, the step that you think it is. And that step is, I need to receive hope. And so there are different steps. And the first one is admitting that I need hope. It's the step of weakness, admitting that I'm weak, admitting that I don't have all the answers. And you then go through different steps of that I need a community. I need a group of people around me. I need to be in the process of learning. I can't think, well, you know what? I've studied hope and I read 3 books. I got it all together. No. Hope, receiving hope is an ongoing process of learning. And it also is the F word, failure. We have to admit that we have failed. And we have failed not only in our sin, but admit that we have failed in our attempts at bringing hope to ourselves. And we need, part of that failure then brings us into listening. I need to be listening for hope. I need to be thinking, I don't know if you can hear in the background, our dog is yelling. I need to be listening for it. I need to be thinking, it's out there. I need to be searching for it. And when it comes, I need to be receiving it. I need to be living hope, not with my arms crossed, but with my hands open, ready to receive hope, because God is a God of surprises. He will bring you hope in the most remarkable times, in the most remarkable ways, and he's going to use people that you look at them and you say, no. But God sits there and says, yes. And when it comes, we need to accept it. We need to say, thank you for the hope that you just gave me. And if that was the end of it, that would be fine. That would be great. 7 steps, it's a perfect number. But you know what? If all you do is receive hope, you'll never really get it, because life is more than receiving. What did Jesus say? It is more blessed to do what? Give than receive. So not only must you be receiving hope, you must be in the process of sharing hope. You've got to be working and living with the assumption that God has made you. You're the only one like you, and you have a unique hope message that only you can share. And when you share hope with someone, you're doing something that no one else in the universe can. Your message is unique, and to hide it is, if I don't want to be too bold, but it is a sin. God has given you hope, and we need to share it. We need to also understand that when we share hope, it's not my job about whether people receive it or not. My job is to share and to be continually learning how to be a better sharer of hope. And when I'm in the process of sharing, I need to be listening to the pain that that person's in. And I also need to be, am I sitting back? Am I got my arms folded? Am I paying attention? Am I fiddling with my phone? I need to have the posture, the way I sit and stand and lean into them for hope. And then I need to give hope in steps. God didn't pour everything out to me at one time. It's been a process over years. So there are steps, and I need to take action to build up hope in the lives of other people. And I need to show appreciation to people. And when I share hope with them, say, you know what? It has been my honor to do this, and I want to thank you for that. And use the use of questions. When I'm giving hope, a lot of it is saying, how do you feel? What's going on? Why has this broken your spirit? And helping people to have direction with hope, saying, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but I don't have all the answers. There are other people who can help you with hope. Give them direction, point them to other people and resources. And finally, it is to be a person that connects people with hope. To say, I know of a great resource. I know of a great person. I know of someone who can help you. Let me connect you with them.